and we're starting this. Hello, for those of you who have joined. Wow, we have 3 people online and we have 2 likes. That's fantastic. We've never had that ratio before. We probably sometimes have 300 people online and just like 11 likes. So, hey, to those people who have liked, thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure having you here. And apologies for those who joined yesterday. Probably I wasn't around here. I had informed the house on Thursday that I was not going to be around. We were not going to be doing live. In case anyone that missed that particular announcement. So hello and well done, everyone. Today we'll be looking at businesses, different businesses that one can engage in. In the last few days, we've been talking about businesses. We've spoken about why business. We also talked about why not business. We talked about when to start a business, and we also have spoken about the excuses people give not to do business. We say there are people who, no matter what, they will give all sorts of excuses so that they don't do business. And in the last few days, those were the excuses that we did talk about. And today we are going to be looking at types of business to do, because most times people are always asking what business should we do, what kind of business should we do, and stuff like that. Hello, Rosemary. It's a pleasure having you here. Welcome. Lovisa One TV. Hello to you too. Oh my goodness. Greetings for Belgium, she said. Well done. For me, it's also greeting from Aberdeen. I am currently in Aberdeen, and outside the sun is shining as if it's 1 p.m. It's crazy. Ali Saidu, good evening to you and welcome to Let's Do Business with Aisha Yesufu. It's a pleasure having all of you here today. We just tarry a little bit and see and wait for others to also join. Waziri Hamam. Is that the BBOG Waziri? Yes. How are you, my brother? It's been a pleasure having you here. Ungozi Ezedima, hello to you too and welcome. Good evening from New Nigeria country, said Rude Boys Crowd. Okpeyemi Muyiwa, greetings from North Carolina. Greetings to you. And today I'm greeting you from Aberdeen in Scotland. Well then, yesterday, so we traveled, so I was all on transit, and of course I did say we couldn't do that. Waziri, it's a pleasure having you. Oh, thank you so much. I just came to Aberdeen yesterday, yesterday night actually. I've been in Nigeria all this while, so I'm here currently in Aberdeen. Okay, we have Daddy Ike. He's calling from Alberta in Canada. Chidiebere, good evening to you. Letitia Mbatu, good evening. Thank you so much for your kind words. As we are on, please kindly like, share, and also subscribe. 3 videos every day, 12 p.m., 4 p.m., and also 8 p.m. Basically talking about Nigeria, what Nigeria is all about, and the things that we're supposed to do. And as I was just saying, I just realized something. As a video that was supposed to go up at 8 p.m. I actually had forgotten. I didn't set it up, to go off at that 8 p.m. But hey, sometimes these things happen. So, well done, everyone. Transcender Learning Hub, it's a pleasure having you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So just to set up the discussion, can you just write in the comment section what kind of, if somebody's to do business, what are the kind of business that you think, someone can just do? So I just want us to get to like 10 minutes before we delve into the topic. But what are the kind of business that you think someone should do? Yep, go ahead and let's know. Kenneth, good evening and welcome. What are those kind? What's the kind of business that you feel someone should do or shouldn't do? Abubakar Mohammed, it's a pleasure having you here. Good evening and welcome. We'll soon be starting off. Let's have in the comment section what are the kind of businesses that you think about, or the kind of businesses you've seen people doing, or the kind of businesses that you feel, okay, this might be a business. Please kindly go ahead and write it down. Let's make this as interactive as we can. It will make it more right. Let's make it as interactive as we can as we go on. Today we're going to be talking about the types of businesses. Best Obo, good evening to you. It says greetings from Kent, UK. Good evening to you. And this is me here speaking from Aberdeen in Scotland, where it's 9 p.m. but the sun is shining. I'm looking out of the window here and the sun is shining like no man's business. Yes, Rude Boss Crowd has set us off and he said plantation. Wow, that's a huge business. He says plantation. Okay, let me write that down. Plantation. Yeah, that's a business. And that's really quite a huge business. Anyone that wants to go into that, not only you will need money, you will need a lot of patience because it's going to take a lot of time. I mean, before you begin to reap the fruit. Full stop, I think, consider the current situation in Nigeria. Absolutely. Ngozi Ezedima says, full stop, what people must eat, and so people must buy food. No matter how bad it is, people definitely will buy food. Then also now depends on what kind of food. Is it expensive food? Is it cheap food? And all of that. Lovisa wants say beverage distribution business, property development. Absolutely. These are also businesses that, you know, one can do and easily make money out of it. There are always businesses, you know, to do. Can we have more of these businesses that you think one should do and all of that before we start? Yeah, it's almost 8 p.m. The next 2 minutes we'll take off at 10 minutes after 9. We'll just take, or at least we've given time for people that to gather a bit in the meantime, while also not punishing those who came early. That's why we continue with the different conversation. Okay, Lovisa wants a beverage distribution business. Okay, that's good. Property development, yes. Alice Ade daycare and nursery school, yes. Alice Ade from Sharjah in UAE. Alice Ade, hi, how are you? Buying bush and sell back in few years. Okay, Waziri, can you explain please what you mean when you say buying bush what? Or is it land? Palm plantation, real estate. I would love to go into a cassava and rice agriculture in Nigeria, but the problem is that the people who go around with cattle will not allow it go fine. Well, that's one of the problems that we currently have in Nigeria, where, you know, farmer header clash. Sometimes while you plant and then it's being destroyed. It's sad, but that shouldn't stop you from business. Look for another angle that you can come in, either plant where there will be fence, or maybe sell the product, because you're going to sell the products, and or buy from people who have already bought, and then sort of like, you know, just find a way out. Don't let anything, if you really want to do business, don't let anything stop you. For every problem there will be a solution. And then okay, Waziri Hamam, I get it. Buying cheap lands and selling them back in a few years. Fantastic. Real estate, land. And so even that problem of you see, this is how business ideas come up and businesses start. Even that problem that you think it's a big problem of, okay, cattle are eating people's farm, destroying it. It can also be a business that someone can do. Hey, yes, it's 10 minutes, and so let's get right into a type of business to do. You know, I normally talk about this topic because people will always come to you and say, okay, what kind of business do they want to do? Some people will say, oh, we have money, we want to do so and so business, and then some will actually want to give you money. Can you take this money? Can you invest it? Can you do something? Like I've always said here, I particularly, I don't invest for people. I don't do any business that I bring anyone in. The only thing that I do is to share knowledge. Not too much knowledge, but the one that I know. So I'm not like an expert in this whole thing, but I've been doing business for 24 years, and along the way I've gathered a little bit of experience, and that's the experience that I usually do share here. And then I always say to people that, look, every business is a billionaire maker. Every business is a millionaire maker. And when I'm talking, for me, when I always talk about millions, I don't talk about millions in terms of naira. I talk about millions in terms of pounds, euro, and dollars, because honestly, you know how our money is. You can be a millionaire today, tomorrow exchange rate return it to Tanzania. So for me, when I'm talking about millions, I actually talk about it in forex. And I want to state it this categorically: every business is profitable. Yes, somebody might have done that business and made losses. It doesn't mean the business is not profitable. It means the way that the person went on with the business is what was not profitable. So every business, there are people who are making money out of it, people who have become rich out of it, people who have become financially independent out of it, and that every business also, there are people who had lost all their money in it. There are people who have become bankrupt because of it. There are people who have, lost everything because of it. So really, a business is not really dependent on whether it will give you profit or whether it will not give you profit, or whether you make loss or whether you will not make loss. Every business, you can make profit from it, and you can always make loss from it. So that's the first thing I always advise people to have at the back of their minds. And when people are thinking about starting a business, that's one thing I always say to them: always look at the business and say whatever, and have it at the back of your mind that it is possible for you to lose everything in this business. So you get it. It's possible for you to wake up and all your money is gone. So there's nothing like, oh, this business is, you make money and then I can never lose money. There's no business that you can say you can never lose money in it. Then there's no business that you can say you must make profit in it. So always have it at the back of your mind. So when you have it at the back of your mind that there's possibility that the whole money you put in a business can be lost, what then do you do? And this is where you look at this is where you now say to yourself, okay, can I afford to lose this particular money? And then say to yourself, oh, okay, I can afford to lose this particular money, no problem. Then you put it and go ahead. And if you cannot afford to lose that money, then scale it down. Don't put that all money in. Let me give you an example. For example, somebody wants to start business, and then the person wants to go and borrow money from a lot of people, or large sum of money, and it's not your money. So if you lose that money, you can't afford it, because now you don't have anything to pay those people back. So you need to scale it down. Or for example, somebody will go and sell every property that they have or everything and put it in that business. Can they afford to lose it? No. If you ask me today if I'm going to start a business, and you say, okay, this business, you're going to start it with 1 million naira. I know that if I put 1 million naira and I lose that 1 million, I'll just feel angry, right? At myself. I mean, even if it's one kobo you lose, you will feel angry that, oh, I shouldn't have lost this money. We have ended up, losing this money. I'll feel that kind of anger. But it's not the one that, my life is gone, oh, that kind of a thing. There are some people who, for them, if they lose that 1 million naira, their life is literally gone. There are people who have committed, okay, they say we should not call it committed suicide. People who have died by suicide just because they couldn't stand the fact that they had either made losses in their business or stuff like that. So you see, at that moment, whatever it was that they lost, they couldn't afford to lose it, and then it led to them making the drastic decision. So always think of start from that point, can I afford to lose this money? So that's the way it goes. So in thinking about the kind of businesses that people that one can do, I always look at four ways in thinking of business. Ideas for a new business, I say, fall into four categories. And so the first category is those businesses that come because you're fulfilling a need. So when they say fulfilling a need, what are the things that worry you? What are those problems you wish could be solved? Like the person in the comment section who mentioned that he would have loved to go into farming. I think it was Global World Icon. Yeah, it was Global World Icon that said he would have loved to go into cassava and rice agriculture, right? But that the problem for him is that people who go around with cattle, they will not allow it. So you see, that's a problem. So like now, Global World Icon is to sit down and say, yes, that's a problem. He's not the only one who has that problem. There are a lot of other people who have that problem. So if he's able to find solution to that problem and market that solution, then that's a business that he can really make so much money from. So that's how business ideas also come in. When you're talking about what kind of business to do, I always say to people, look around your area, around your society, look around the community, look around where you are. What are the problems that are there? And then you can say, how do you solve the problems? Because with the problems on ground, you also can now go on, and solve and solve those problems. And I've repeatedly talked about my second business, how we started. We had a poultry, there was nowhere to buy chicken feed, and that was how near our area we had to go far. That was how I opened the shop and I started selling chicken feed. And from the very first day of me opening that shop, people were so excited. People were coming in. People were praying for me. People were thanking me because it has solved a major problem, that they had, which was they had to go all the way inside town for them to be able to buy chicken feed. With like when I was in Kaduna Business School also, there was conversation about $30 before he started Xenon Oil, that he had a printing press. I think they say he inherited from his father, and he always had issues with diesel, for your machines and for the machines and all of that. And one day he felt, hey, if I have this issue, other people have this issue too. How do I bring this problem into solve that problem? Fulfilling a need is a source of getting business idea. It's something that will give you an opening into what you should do. What is it that you hear about? What are the needs of the people? What is it that people talk about that they feel is a problem to them and would want someone solve? You could just be the one solving that problem and earning money in return. Thinking of fulfilling a need is a way for us to get business ideas. Let's look at cleaning houses. You understand? Cleaning houses, like before this particular meeting we are having right now, I actually went online to say, okay, let me look at specific business ideas, and cleaning houses was one of them. And even like what I wrote, I mean, years ago, because this write-up that I'm looking at, I wrote them maybe over a decade, 15 years ago, these basic principles. And so when you look at things like cleaning a house, there are people who don't want domestic staff living with them, or they've had domestic staff for years, they don't want any, and they, of course, they need their houses to be clean. You could have a business where you have people, trustworthy people who are already vetted, that can go into people's houses and clean their houses for them, and they get a decent wage. So people are tired of domestic help. You've had situations whereby domestic help have killed people and all of that. And so, and there are people who really don't have that time to be cleaning their houses and whatever. If there's a business out there where there's a cleaning business, where they know they can just get in, someone will come in, clean your house for the day. I mean, it helps them, it fulfills their need. And so you could also do these cleaning houses or offices. You could help out with the problem by helping to clean the house. You don't have you don't have to be the one doing the cleaning. You can have people under you who do the cleaning. There are people who get houses to clean, and there are people who need people to clean their houses, and that's the start of a business. So with that, you have a business that are going on. There are also a lot of businesses that come with fulfilling a need, and you can have the same business, it's everywhere, but you go to a particular place, at that particular place they don't have that business. So for example, even like POS, you might be in an area where for you to get money from ATM is very difficult for you to do. You can just say, okay, let me just start this POS and hire somebody and put the person there. You could be in a new area where there are no provision stores, everybody has to go far to the market to go and buy things. You can decide that, oh, you're going to start, a provisions shop, and actually start it. So there are always something. Is it about a recharge card? Maybe the place you live in, there are no, I saw someone who mentioned buying building materials. Maybe there are no good quality building material, and then you just say, oh, let me start this business. So always look around you and check, fulfilling a need. Real estate is also something that you can use to fulfill a need. People are always looking for houses to rent. People are always looking for, affordable houses that they can buy, that they can rent. And so that's also a deal. You can buy you can build a house and give it out for people to need. Shelter is one of the basic necessities in life. No matter what happens, people are going to look for, places to stay in, and also to live in. Buying land, and I think Waziri Hamam had talked earlier, had told us that buying land when it's cheap and reselling it years on is also a form of business. I say buying land is a form of real estate, though not much of fulfilling it, but more of fulfilling your need of investing the money. So you have a need to invest your money, to put it in assets that we appreciate over time, and then so you could also buy land, and be able to sell it. And it's always good, especially good for people who are working, for them to be buying things like that. Just buy that land. Just don't leave your money lying loud. Even if you can't build a house, buy the land, leave it. Another money comes into your hand, buy the land. Always just keep going on in buying this land. The more lands you're buying and living there, the more assets you acquire. But like I always say, you have to be extremely careful and ensure that the lands that you're buying are lands that are genuine. It's not fake. It's not the one somebody will come and do wudu dabaru. It becomes, because there is a lot of fraud in the real estate business. So you really have to check. When I wrote this my write-up many years ago, I'm thinking of like over 20 years ago. This idea that we have today, that you can buy soup outside, it wasn't there. And I remember I used to discuss it with my friends, because in my house, for me, what I do right from when I married my husband, even before I married my husband, that was the lifestyle that he had. Weekend, he will cook soups and freeze them. So when we got married, I came from a home, first of all, we didn't have the money to be even cooking food and keeping. We ate fresh soup every day. We cooked soup for that day. Got finished, we cook another one the following day, every day, like that. And so when I got married, my husband was like, no, that's too much work and everything. This is how he does it. So we cook soup, we pack them in the freezer. So if you come to my house, at least you're getting 5 different kind of soups. And my friends will always, when they come over to my house. Sometimes they just come and pick, different soups when I cook. And I used to say to them, look, this thing is going to be a business. I like, if I wanted to do a business, it was something I was going to do, which was cooking soups for people to buy. And I used to discuss it when I was teaching, business models and stuff like that. And I said to people, you cook the soup, because there are a lot of women who are working. A lot of women don't have time. They are busy also. So having soups, all you need to do is to make eba. Instead of you struggling or whatever, you can outsource that particular thing. And a lot of people say, no, that can't be possible. But today you see, it's just such a normal thing. This catering that you see is so normal, where women are buying, where families are buying soups, ordering soups from about 20 years ago, they thought it was impossible. So also as we go on, there are more ideas that are out there that the world is going to go into. So look for all of these things and know where is the world heading to, and begin to position yourself, and have a business, having it out there. And I remember writing that this is one of the things I wrote. Uh, I said, looking forward to going to stores and buying my frozen egusi soup and even frozen stew. For someone like me that hates cooking, that would be heavens. My theory is it doesn't matter who cooks the food. All that matters is that there is food on the table. So these are business ideas that that can be looked into. And so for me, this was something like about 20 years ago talking about it. But you see, those things are more or less realities. Even if you don't have that, oh, there's a frozen soup out there, but there are people that you can place order on, and then you are able to, buy food for them. One of also the business for me for years, if I was to think about going into business now, that I'm really going to think about, is safe deposits. In Nigeria, we don't have safe deposit. Everything has to be in your house, and God forbid there's fire, God forbid there's robbery, everything is gone. So we don't have places where you can keep important documents, important things, whether jewelries or whatever. Banks used to provide that services. They will put it in their vault, they will give you, but after a while they stopped it, and up to now we don't have those safe deposits. So I think it's also something that is long overdue, that people can begin to also look into. And then most of us have lots of documents we would want kept in a safe place. There's fear of theft, fire. Banks that used to keep those documents, they don't do that anymore. And so these are also some of the things that can be done. Storage facilities also another thing that we need in our country. I don't think we have people who are still doing that yet, but if you know of anyone, please let us know in the comment section. Where what happens is that when people either get transferred to other places or transferred to somewhere, they have their load and they have to leave their house, or they move to a place but they haven't gotten a place yet, you can hire a storage facility and just keep your things there. Maybe you probably pay either by the month or whatever as you go on, but you have a place where you can keep your things in there. For example, you see a lot of jackpot syndrome where people are forced to just sell their things, or some they sell them at giveaway prices, or they just have to share it amongst families and friends. But these are things that they can keep in storage and then make decision later on what to do. So storage facility is also something that people can look into, and then have a business out there. What can we do to fulfill other people's needs, our own needs, and from there we can start a business? Be open to all possibilities, have an open mind, and keep looking at every day for ways you can help somebody else fulfill his or her own need. Remember when we did why not business, we said if somebody cannot have an open mind, then they shouldn't do business. So it's very important, keep an open mind. Don't look at problem and think, oh, I can't solve this, oh my goodness, this thing is too much. Think of it and think, how can I solve this problem and at the same time make money out of this problem? There are a lot of problems that need solving. There are a lot of problems that people have. What are the ways that you can use to sort of like solve that problem? So these are also some of the things that are out there. Let me look at some of the comments that we have here, whether there's let me see. Okay, I think there are conversation going on. So Mr. Albert is asking, is it wise to put money overseas in a Nigeria savings account for the interest? So I'm a bit confused when you say, is it possible to put money overseas? Or are you talking about domiciliary account in a Nigerian savings account for the interest? I'm trying to understand, because the message is a bit conflicting. Albert, if you could clarify. Salehan wa alaikum salam wa welcome. It's really because here now you can order for soup for your food. Absolutely, Ali, you say you do. And you know, this thing, this document I'm just looking at, and when I wrote it about, when I started talking about business, it wasn't there. We're talking about 20 years ago. Nothing like that. 2003, 2004. I used to talk about this. There was also another business myself and my friend we used to talk, but we never got to do, which is happening right now, which is transporting children, school children, from their houses to their school. Though now I see a lot of schools are doing it, but then we wanted to do it that instead of parents that are always running up and down to take their children to school, we could have like bus services, go to the house, pick up the children and drop them in their various schools. So there is always something that will give you an idea. There's always a problem to be solved. That's why the more problems you have, the more business opportunities there are. So like for example in Nigeria that we have such a lot of problems, there are also, you know, business opportunities. CPOS business, the way it is thriving. Even ATM, once upon a time we didn't even have them in Nigeria. So that will fall, though that will fall under transferring ideas, you know, from one place to the other. You also have right now a lot of parents, they are looking for places that they can put their children in, and their children will be safe and they know they will be well looked after. Right now, most of the modern families are dual income families. That means the father is bringing in money, the mother is bringing in money. You find out that both parents are employee. They are both employees, so they have to go out to work. And what happens to the children? And that's why sometimes you find that a lot of children are left in schools. The children will do normal work, they will do lessons. Some children are leaving the school at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. because that's when their parents close. So if you're able to have a kind of a business which is like a midway home between leaving school and getting home. Yes, the parents are not around, but you operate this kind of child caring services where you can go and get the children, bring them to your place. Maybe they have a change of clothing, or if it's a place that, but it has to be very safe and, you know, well monitored. The children, you know, they shower, they change their clothing, they feed them, they do their homework, they play, so that when the parents come, it's just to take them home and, you know, they can sleep for the day. They've done all the activities that they're supposed to do. So it's like, instead of, you might not have a house help that you leave your children from, but you have so a place where they are being taken of. So these are some of the problems that are out there that we can always think about. Oh, what we can do to solve those problems. There are so many things. And if, for example, now maybe as we go on, we talk about, you know, the problems that are out there, we'll begin to see business ideas that, you know, that are out there, that people, business ideas that are out there. I'm sorry, I'm just sorry, my husband is calling me, so just give me a bit of a moment. Let me answer. Apologies for that, please. So that was my husband calling me. He wanted to tell me that he's going to sleep. He's an early bird. Those kind of people that sleep very early. That's my husband for you. So that was why he was calling me. So apologies, I had to take his call. So there are always problems that if we look at those problems, whatever it is, there's an opportunity. You can look at it and say, how do I solve this problem? Some of these businesses, when you start thinking, doing them, what people will say, what is this? What kind of business is this? But as it goes on, it will now begin to dawn on the people. It will now begin to be, you know, the people will begin to feel that it's part of them. And before you know what's happening, it becomes normal. It's because you'll be shocked that a few years ago, for you to even enter restaurant as a woman and eat, they used to look at you as if you are one wayward person just for going into a restaurant. Ketu said the liability of storing someone's property in any event of theft or disaster might be discouraging some like someone's certificate. Oh, okay, Ketu. So storage facilities are built like votes, like just like the way you have bank votes. So it's not just someone will just collect it and put it in the box or in their houses. No, it's not safe now. And the way they do it, so you're the only one that has access to whatever cubicle you've paid for, that you put your things in, and it's usually done is high, very high, highly secured kind of place, making sure that fire and stuff like that are taken care of. And then in terms of theft or whatever, they are even something that you can't easily just break into them, just as strong as banks. This thing, that's how they usually are. M. Albert says, would after school club for kids in Nigeria be fantastic idea? It's a great idea. We just even talked about something that got related to that. You know why I would say it's a great idea? Of course, and also when you're doing business, you have to look at the location you're putting your business in. A lot of you have to put it where there's the upper class and middle class, and young working parents. We have a lot of people. Most houses are dual income households. So father, mother, they are out there hustling, out there working, and parents, children are left on their own. Sometimes they close from school, they are left in the school, or they just left with house help. You don't know what is being done. So having an after school care is something that really, I think it's something that really would work out. Instead of just leaving children at school, they could come to this place, relax, maybe probably shower, take care of themselves. If they have to take a nap, they take a nap, they do their homework, everything indoor. What is just remaining is just for them to sleep for the night, and then when the parents are done, they can come over and come and meet them. So that's a lot. And Ali said, you said, I just got one business idea from what you have said so far. I noticed a lot of children don't read like before, and it's a major issue. Absolutely, reading clubs, book clubs, have selling books. There's someone called Farida Bookworm Cafe. She's my husband's niece, and those are the things that she also does. So these are things that can be replicated everywhere. Honestly, on a serious note, every day if you sit down or you're walking down the street, you will get 101 business ideas, and the most important thing is execution. So there are so many things that can actually give you money when people are thinking about making business. And when you're thinking about doing business, you shouldn't be focused on, I'm going to double my money, triple my money, whatever. I always say to people, the kind of business that I know is you're making little profit, you're doing on every day, you're persevering, and then those little profit you're saving, then you're investing. That's how I've made money. I've never gotten money from big contract. I hammered. I make one big double sale. No, I have never. So my own is a little by little way that I know how to do. Please follow your ancestors, the pure African tribe. God's Allah is no more fake Islam. Okay, Axton, well done so much. Thank you so much for the advice. And when we're doing religious studies, probably we'll bring you in so that you can explain, more to us. So now we've talked about one aspect of when you're talking about how to do business, we talked about fulfilling a need. And so the other aspect is transferring ideas from one place to the other. So before I talk about transferring ideas from one place to the other, I want to tell you a bit of a story. In the year 2000, I traveled to Dubai. I was doing business. That was my first business, where I would buy things in Dubai. I would come to Nigeria and sell them. And so in the year 2000, when I went to Dubai, I saw this water dispensing machine, a water dispensing bottle. I'm like, whoa, this is a business. Like, this thing will work in Nigeria. Imagine hospitals, schools, offices having this thing. So I was so excited about it, and I came and I was telling my husband, let's do this business. Let's begin to bring this thing in. He wasn't saying with me. At the end of the day, I didn't do that business. Before later on, Seaway, came into Nigeria and brought those things in, especially the northern part of the country. I don't know whether in Lagos they had the water dispensing machine before the year 2000. But if it's today that I see that kind of business, my husband will just say that have loaded, they are already coming at the port. So why am I saying this? There are so many things that are out there that are not in Nigeria that you can actually bring over to Nigeria. Billboards that you see today are these electronic ones that things are they weren't in Nigeria. POS, ATM. I remember was it 2008 going to South Africa where you buy something like tomato suya from someone selling this and they will give you POS and they put card, you pay. I was like, we didn't have that in Nigeria. So all of this, are business ideas. So when you see things being done in one place, you can actually transfer it, to another place and do it. So when you travel and go to other places in other parts of the world or within the country or even in the state that you are in, if you see something and believe in it that it can work where you are, please, you can transfer the idea from that place to where you are and make it work. That is a business idea. You can start a business from there. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to say, oh, the only business you are going to do is the only one that only you thought about. No, there are so many businesses out there that are already being done. They are doing very well in other places. You can just bring these businesses also, to the places you are. Like I talked about before, outdoor event advert screen. Somebody must have seen it somewhere, brought it to Nigeria. It's so normal now. But once upon a time, it was strange. We didn't know it. We didn't see it. People used to be amazed, at such a thing that it's happening. You can be watching something or you saw a film or a documentary or the news something and you see a business idea there. If it's something you can replicate in your place and you think it will find acceptance, there will be value, profit, go for it. These are ways for you to get business, transfer ideas, from one place to another place. Another idea for me also that I think is something that we can transfer is this is laundromat. I don't know the pronunciation. Laundromat, where they normally wash clothes. That's also something that can happen because we have a lot of people who, although with our electricity problem or whatever, but you can work that to where people can come pay and use washing machine to wash their clothes so that they don't have to be using their hands to do it. Unlike taking it to laundry, it's different from laundry because in this case they are the ones that will operate it themselves. They pay whatever it is that is supposed to be paid. Maybe you say for every wash it's also so amount for this, and they just come and put it in the machine, put the soap, wash their teeth. If there's a dryer, they dry it and carry it along with them to go. And so this is also a business idea that can be transferred from one place to another. Then the third way that you can find businesses to do is improving on an existing business. A business that is already there, it's already flourishing, but you feel there are certain things that can be done to make it better. For example, for those of us who grew up in the northern part of the country, we know that like Meishai is a hub. You understand? So Jolly Bokwe, thank you so much. Welcome. So I think you probably only missed one. Yesterday, there was no we didn't have anyone because I was traveling, so I did announce that I will not be having yesterday's own until today. So welcome, and it's a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for your kind words. So for those of us who grew up in the north, Meishai place, you know how much it's a hub. It's a place where people buy breakfast, people buy tea, to drink. With bread to go along with it, egg, or they will cook noodle along with it in the morning and the evening. It's a place that thrives a lot, and not just workers, even housewives and co. Some people buy from that. So imagine that whole Meishai business. You now take it to another level. You now make it more modern. You make it more hygienic. You make it to be more self-serving. So people are coming, there are a lot of people who leave their houses early. They don't eat breakfast and they need where they can get quick breakfast. So you make like a place where people can grab their breakfast on the go as they go on. Right now, you have a lot of restaurants who some of them are fulfilling that need, and stuff like that. So These are things that can be improved upon. I always say that Meshai and Starbucks are the same. They are the same kind of business. It's the packaging that is different. It's the way that is being done that is different. You can turn that Meshai business to a good eatery business, and instead of just standing maybe in not too clean environment, people can have a place they can quickly sit, grab their breakfast, or in a hygienic environment. Another business, of course, that you can improve upon is tailoring. You know how people fight with their tailors year in, year out. And what can you do to solve that? Can you provide better service? Can you ensure that people's clothing don't take time, you collect it from there, you deliver before that time? These are also ideas that can be done in improving our existing business. A lot of employees sometimes want certain things improved upon in their places of work, but the employers will not be interested. Well, if you feel you have the mind for it, you can go start your own little business and make those improvements, and from there you have started a business. Yes, I totally agree with you, Esomonu Romanus. You're very right. Even when schools are teaching entrepreneurship, it's always so, theory. Like for those of you that know, I'm currently in school. I'm doing BSc Economics, and like the last time when I did one entrepreneurship course, I think that was. BSAQ 401 or something like that. I had to say to the lecturer, I said, well, we keep learning about what's sole proprietorship, what's partnership, the function, the advantage, the same thing year in, year out, from level 1 to this is a level 4 course, it's still the same thing. And I said to him, we need this is not teaching anyone the practical what about practical uh, nuggets on what entrepreneurship is really about. And I say somebody cannot read these courses and come and say that, oh, that they will not be able to do business. So I do agree with you. Even though yes, we do entrepreneurship now in school, it's really just about passing exam, not and not really about people coming out and being able, to establish their own business. So the fourth thing here, of course, is hobby business. What kind of business do you love doing? Is there something that you want to do? Is there something that you're good at, that you enjoy doing, and then before you know what's happening, you can turn it into a business and begin to earn money from it? What are the things that ordinarily you love doing, whether you're working or not, whether you are earning money from it or not? Sometimes these things can be turned into business. That's why we call it hobby business. For example, people who love to bake, to sew or design clothing, you can go ahead to learn it more and start a business from there. Is it something that you love doing and at the same time you're earning money from it? Do you love organizing parties? You have a business idea in that is something you would love. You can take a step further and start business as a party organizer, event planner, as it is called here. With hard work, dedication, and perseverance, you would have a business that is sustaining you. A lot of people are on the internet doing one thing or the other. They're on social media, they are scrolling, they are looking for who is doing live to go and insult the person or say one thing or the other. I've seen a lot of people who, you're just doing your live, you're talking about something, they'll just come and start insulting you, abusing you. Just take that time and energy and look for what it is that you love to do and just start a business from there. That helps more. Then what, like I'll round up here by saying that, look, no matter what business it is, it's always a potential billionaire maker. So go for it and start something. Having said that, also is that I'm going to look at some specific businesses that I've written down. I just had to Google and just write some down, and we have some also that have been given to us on the comment section that people have written about the kind of businesses that they also are thinking about or they have seen being done. Polyvalent housewife, thank you so much for your kind words. Chijoke, greetings to you too. Thank you so much. And then, well done, my sister says Emeka Shinobi. Emeka, thank you so much. And Somonu, yes, curriculums that we have outdated curriculum. We have our curriculum that was set for like 17th, 16th, 17th century, and up to now we've not really taken time down out to be able to revamp the curriculum to fit the present situation that we have in the world, and also to fit the current labor market. So we're still coming from behind. And of course, business ideas are very, there are so many, and that's why when people come and say, okay, what business do I have? What could I, what and that? I'm like, no, just do this thing. Zoba is asking, how often do you come live? Well, I come live literally like every day, 9 p.m. Nigerian time, and that's 9 p.m. WAT West African time is GMT +1. And so live every day. If there's any event why I'm unable to do live, I would say tomorrow Sunday we are starting our first book review meeting, our first book review live. And we're reviewing the book The Richest Man in Babylon by George C. Clason. It's a classic book on financial literacy. It's a classic book on how to grow wealth, on how to save your money, on how to take yourself out of difficult financial situations. So we're just going to be reviewing it. Everybody read it, and then you come and we take people on. It's going to be an interactive one where I can talk and where also others can join and talk. And what we want to see, let's discuss the book. How did we read it? What did we see? And what are the things that we're going to do with it? And let's not forget that it's one thing to read a book, it's another thing to actually put the principles to work. And the principles are quite easy, but also difficult to keep, to maintain, to keep doing it. It's not something that you rush immediately, you have it. It needs perseverance, patience, and more perseverance and more patience. It needs dedication. It needs delayed gratification. You can't use instant gratification to grow your wealth. And so those are some of it. Tomorrow we're going to be talking more on that. That's 9 p.m. Nigerian time. That's when we do this. So just looking at some of there are so many businesses out there, and then also there are new businesses that have come up in the last decade or the last few years in terms of things like content creation. I mean, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, there was nothing like content creation. In terms of social media, there was something like skit making. In terms of social media, there was nothing like online business. But now we have these things here. These are also things that you can take advantage of. You can see the opportunity and be able to do it. So there are businesses like, selling underwear, selling snacks, smoked fish, Zopo sales, crochet business. And crochet is even coming back now because there are many people who are making dresses from there. We talked about cleaning. It's always also here. You can start a cleaning. And sometimes you're just starting a job or a skill or something else that only you're doing, and you can turn it into business by bringing in more people that will probably work under you while you're providing those services to others. There are people who do on demand cooking. There's one, there's her name on Instagram, something like eat more. I think I used to order food for her, very delicious food that she cooks, where you just place your order as if you're in a restaurant. You just send it to her early, or she prepares the food and she has it delivered on you. Although now she doesn't do that, she do bulk. So I'm sure there were so many, because her food was really good. It's really good. And I'm sure the demands became so much that now what she does is that she only does the bigger commercial, this what do you call it? The bigger soup, like soup pots and stuff like that. Or if you are buying a lot, but before you could literally call her and order for like a plate of food, and homemade, fresh, everything done and delivered to you. So cooking on demand is also something that someone can do. Sometimes like women will say, oh, I'm a housewife, I can't go out. You this day, even before you can do your business from your home, don't let you, oh, you are in your house, you have to look after the children. Don't let that stop you from doing your own business. You can always do your business even right from home. I'm of the opinion that you should look for businesses that deal more on services. Yes, absolutely, that also helps, and sometimes it's not as capital intensive as the one where you're dealing with goods. So business is all about goods and services. The what area that you fit in most, just do it. One of the things also is that when people are offering services, be very diligent, be very meticulous, and I mean offer good services. Don't be shabby in the way you offer your services, otherwise people will move on to other will get other people to do that for them, and in no time you find someone, now losing out on business. So you also have, there were things like noodle stand business. This of course is like where food is, just like you have the Meshai business I talked about, soap production, perfume oil sales, online thrift shop. And so like we talked about, was it a few days ago when we talked about starting business, that you can start business without money. Those are some of the things we talked about. Somebody wants to start a boutique, start with your own clothing, start with your own second-hand clothing, and then from there you move on to bigger and better things. And there are websites like Poshmark, Mercari, that help with selling of online things. Right now also, imagine if we had a big, like a flea market where they sell second hand but online, where people can come, because a lot of people have things in their houses they are not using. If you can dispose of them and sell them online, just like you have, is it Facebook Marketplace or something like that, there is somebody who needs that thing that has been sitting down in your garage for long, or sitting down in your room gathering dust. Somebody else would love to buy it, and then you sell it, get a bit of money and use it. That's also a business that is out there for people to think about. POS business, you've seen it in the last few years. I mean, you go to the bank, you won't be able to get money, but you go to POS and you get your own money. Car washing business is also there. Agriculture, people have talked about it. Food processing, online school is also something that people should also think about. The future, the world, where it's going to, and a lot of homeschooling is going on. Sometimes people can't afford to have pay for schools, and if you can get them to get online and to be able to teach their children from online schools, that's also something that can work. I mean, that has been tested with COVID. Most students had to go to school from home. So these are also it's also part of it. Absolutely, content creation. It's also, that's what I was talking about. In the last few years we didn't have those things, but they are also here. I mean, those are big businesses. Sometimes the money that is being made from content creation, skit making online, using the social media, it's unbelievable. People are earning so much from YouTube, people are earning so much from TikTok, from Twitter and Facebook and all of that, that those things are really businesses. And sometimes that's what the older generation don't understand. When they see young people with money, they just label them as Yahoo. People are making legitimate businesses, some of them that we didn't know about, that were not available during our time, but they are all here now that people are using. So yes, content, and ironically, that was the next thing after start an online school was content creation and also skit making. So these also are businesses. If you're someone who is funny, you always make people laugh. Like I always look at my son, I'm like, he's always making one joke or the other. He's such like a, when they talk about class clown, he can very good at making people, like, you would do so well if you ever decide to go into skit making and all of that. So there are so many times, there's nothing to be ashamed about, as long as you're doing legitimate work, genuine work. I mean, it's great. Go ahead if you have the talent and if you have the love for it. App development, transcription services, professional organizing, There are people who will come and organize, arrange your house for you, not just to say cleaning, declutter, minimalism and all of that, that it's raining for people. So there are so many things that you can just come up. There are people who are stylists. All they do is that they style people. Oh, this shirt will go with this, you wear that. That's also something that you can do, and you can also get people that are working for you. In no time it becomes, it becomes a business. I used to talk about fashion designing and all of that. When I would see, when they're doing their Grammy awards, these are what they were talking about, the clothing, I always felt that the day Nigerian actors, actresses, Nigeria, what do you call them, creatives, get into doing this, it will be amazing. And recently you've seen how well they've been doing. Vicky James is there with her designing business, and a whole lot of other Nigerian designers who are creating amazing, amazing designs. You see a cloth, it will be looking like an art creation. So there are so many things out there that one can go into. Online businesses, pet sitting. You might think it's funny, but now in Nigeria, more and more people are buying pets. People are buying dogs. People are carrying. When I see them carry, I'll just put my mouth in my hand and say, because those are things that you used to see only when you go abroad. People with their dogs, especially these little dogs or whatever. But more and more Nigerians are doing that now, and so sometimes they will look for people to maybe help them walk those dogs, look after them, do one thing or the other. Those are also businesses. Salon, hair selling. You find these wigs that women wear. Some cost a fortune. Some are like the money you used to buy land. So there are also businesses, because there are people that people use a lot. It's also something that you someone can go into. There was another one I saw. So they say medical courier services, where they transport medical items, lab specimens, prescribed drugs. These are also things that can be done in Nigeria. Maybe you see that it's a business you can transfer. So when we're talking about transferring ideas from one place to another, these are also the ways that you can do that transfer. Affiliate marketing is also part of those things. Drop shipping, yeah, where you are selling things online, but you really don't have those things. You get from other people who are able to keep those things in their warehouses, and they transfer it for you. Those are also things that could go on. Social media management, travel planner. I mean, there are a lot of, we have event planners, we have travel planners. People want to travel, but they don't want the hazard of having to make arrangements, buy tickets, look for where you can get visa. But there are people who are doing that, and also, they are able to turn it into business and make life easier for other people. So these are many more businesses, and you see all of these businesses that I'm calling, you see they fall into either you're fulfilling the need, or you're transferring ideas from one place to another, or you are improving on an existing business or a hobby that you're working on and making it better. So these are some of the things that are out there. So yes, house, we are 1 hour into it. So we do between 1 and 2 hours. It depends on the engagement. So if there are questions, if there are comments, please go ahead and let's have them. And kids and women transportation between working places is indeed a very good venture. Then someone said, will it be safe? Yes, I can deposit into a domiciliary account to earn. Oh, okay, Albert, I remember when you asked this question, I didn't know. So when you talk about the domiciliary account, the thing is that yes, in terms of forex in Nigeria, holding your money in foreign exchange is always better because of the inflation, especially now that we're here. They are at the same time just earning interest. Cash is the worst form of investment. Just you are earning interest. It sometimes it doesn't keep up with inflation. Money is currency. It's supposed to be moving, and then when it's moving, use it to buy this, use it to, that's when you are earning more money. But when you just leave it, yeah, you might be earning that interest, but you now have to weigh the interest with how much inflation is taken away. And in Nigerian case, although it's still talk, there are people who are doing permutation that what if tomorrow the government decides, they pass a law, National Assembly pass a law that every morning a domiciliary account should be taken over, by the executive. You never can say, because they are passing all sorts of laws that they don't care about whether people think it is the right thing or it is not the right thing. And most times you even see Nigerians will even be attacking citizens who say certain laws are not right for the people in the way that they have been made. Okay, so I'm just trying to read the comments now. Yeah, solid of building materials. Someone had mentioned that earlier. So yes, this is it. Remember, tomorrow at 9 p.m. we'll be starting our book review, The Richest Man in Babylon. Do kindly go ahead and get that book. And it's going to be an interactive one and amongst members of the community. So if you'd like to be a member of the community, go ahead and be part of it. So we need to have an interactive session, otherwise we'll just be rounding up now, and hopefully we'll meet again tomorrow. Joy Ibokwe, yep, content creation is also part, of that of business. And one of the things also is for people to be, when you're doing content creation, keep it real, keep it professional. You have to ask yourself how much of yourself you are going to share. Like the other day, someone asked us of couple, content creation. Like, make sure it doesn't affect your marriage. Make sure you're not sucked into, oh, I'm trying to get views constantly or stuff like that. And in the early days, make sure it's not what you're depending on for survival. It should be a hobby, something you like to do, something you like to share. And then as you go on, if it's something that now makes money for you, fine. And even if you're going to work towards it to make money, but ensure that you have another source of income that is taking care of your needs, so that you don't get desperate. You can start all of those couple online, whether it's online business or a YouTube account or TikTok or any of those things. Start it by the way, while you have a main thing you're doing. And if it gets to a place where this one's become bigger, then you can leave the main job and focus fully on this. But in everything that one does, just ensure you find that balance, and the balance that works for you. So I think as we don't have any question and we've reached our 1 hour mark, I'll say to everyone, thank you so much for joining. I've missed quite a number of people that usually would join in every day. Miss Coco, and then Bayo also. I hope they're doing good, and I look forward to really having them join us. Especially Bayo, he actually does keep the conversation, going. Emmanuel Bayo, and it really flows, and it really helps with the conversation. Thank you so much, Aliyu. Thank you, everyone. But please remember, as much as you learn, also share knowledge. The easiest way for you to keep reminding yourself and keep learning more. Yeah, greenhouse planting is good, fantastic, and you can get a lot, and you're not weather dependent or affected. And imagine you have your greenhouse and you're churning out tomatoes in this period. Hey, that's a whole lot. So it is good. Like I said earlier, there's no business that is not good. It's just that are you ready to put in what is needed to be there? So please don't forget, share the knowledge you have. Just teach someone else, tell someone else. When you're teaching, when you're sharing, you're reminding yourself more, and also try to practicalize what you have learned. That's a very good way for you to ensure that you're actually getting the benefit. Don't just learn and leave it in your head. Learn and put it to use. So thank you so much, everyone. Good evening and bye bye. And in case you've missed this lecture from today, no problem. You can always go ahead and watch it again. It will be there after live. You see it there. Just go in there and watch it. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye.